Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. I'm still coming to you from Seoul, South Korea, which is such a beautiful and incredible city. The people are so nice. We've really had a great time here. And I've used the strangeness of the culture as an impetus for my messages this week, which have been on these passages of scripture that, as my wife says, cause you to say, what's up with that? You know, it's just something that seems kind of unusual. And they've all come out of the Old Testament, but I thought today I might end with a story from Jesus, and it's out of the New Testament. The story is found in the Gospel of Mark, and it's a fascinating account where Jesus and his apostles are coming out of Bethany. This is in Mark chapter 11, and it's toward the end of his ministry. And he sees a fig tree off in the distance, and it's in leaf, which means it's got to be at least springtime, but it's not yet the season for the figs to be ripe. And he looks at it, and it doesn't have any figs at all on it, not even unripe figs, which it should have. A fig tree, when it comes out in leaf, the little figs start developing immediately. And so Jesus, in essence, curses the fig tree. He says, may no one ever eat fruit from you again. And the disciples hear it. Now, that story happens in Mark. Then there's a digression where Jesus goes to the temple and cleanses the temple and throws out the money changers and says, you know, my house shall be called a house of prayer, but you've made it a den of robbers. And so he cleanses the temple. Then, after cleansing the temple, he goes back and passes by again the next morning, and his disciples see that the fig tree has totally withered. So it went from being in green leaf but not bearing fruit to totally withering. And his disciples say, look, that fig tree you cursed has withered. Jesus says, have faith in God, and proceeds to talk about faith and how important it is to pray in faith and believe in faith and to act on your faith, to forgive others and things like that. And it's really kind of cool, but you sit here and say, what's up with that? I mean, he just sees a fig tree that's got its leaf but no figs. He curses the fig tree, goes and cleanses the temple. Next day goes by and the fig tree's withered, and then he starts launching into this speech on faith and life. Well, all right, let's look at this. What's up with it? It's an easy answer. Mark, the Gospel of Mark frequently will tell a bit of a story, then insert something in the middle, and then finish the story. It's like a story sandwich, where the story are the two pieces of bread, and there's some intervening story in the middle. That's the meat or the filling for the sandwich. And the reason Mark does this is to not only draw attention to what's in the middle, but the bread part of that sandwich, the stories, help you understand the middle part. And the middle part helps you understand the bread. Here's what that means here. Jesus is upset that the place where people are supposed to be worshiping, the huge signature monument of Jerusalem, of all of Judah, is the temple. And yet the temple, for all of its religious show, has become something of commercial activity. It gives the appearance of religion, but it's not doing what it ought to be doing. It's like the fig tree. It was in leaf, but it didn't have little figs getting ready to be ripened one day. It had no figs at all. And Jesus is saying, if you appear to be religious, but you're not really religious, you're just playing the game, you're going to wither and die. That's what's up with that. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to give the appearance of faith. I want to walk in faith. And that's why I've made this your video thought for today.